Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In. On my crackhead update, I initiated this conversation myself. I was sitting at the 7-Eleven on Live Oak, and this lady, she kept looking at my car, kept looking. Cigarettes attract them like a magnet. So I got out the car. I'm on fleek. So she checking me out. She saying, "Now I guess she's saying, look at this old guy here." So before she could even say anything, when I seen her approach, as soon as she got in range of me, I said, "Say, excuse me." I said, "Your name, Miss Mary Johnson?" She said, "No, my name is not Miss Mary Johnson." I said, "Boy, you look just like Miss Mary Johnson." I said, "Ooh, Miss Mary Johnson could do some things. Boy, she was good." I said, "Boy, she could speak into the mic." She said, what kind of things did Miss Mary Johnson do?" I said, "She did some things." She said, "Oh, I do some things too." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I can look at you and tell that." She said, "Yeah, I'm pretty good myself. You want to have some, do you smoke?" I know she's talking about crack. I said, "Yeah, I smoke." She said, "Well, tell you what we can do. We can go get us a motel and we can go have some fun. We can bring in 2021. So I said, "But I don't have no money." She said, "Well, I can't be Miss Mary Johnson." She said, "You got a nice car there. I know a guy give you about $500-600 for that. Then we can go get us a room and we can party." I said, "No, I think I'm gonna have to pass on that." She said, "Oh, I don't do nothing free. I got status." I said, "What kind of status you got?" She said, "I'm a high society woman." She said, "I don't mess with nothing but millionaires and ballers. That's all I want to mess with is some ballers. And I thought you was a baller. You dress like a baller." I said, "No," but she said, "I sure was hoping you were Miss Mary Johnson, boy." I said, "Boy, you get in this car right now and you can do the food." I said, "I love the way you speak in that mic." I said, "You know, Miss Mary Johnson was so good, she make me holler for mama." She said, I can make you holler for mama and grandma too." I said, "Well," I got in the car and he said, "Well, I see you have a nice day." And I got the hell away from 7-Eleven. That's my crackhead update. I normally don't start no conversation with these people, but I saw her approaching and I already know I was going to get some bullshit from her, so I initiated the conversation before she even got started and threw her whole little conversation out of whack. She didn't know what the hell to do with me. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can slide this video through without being flagged. Yo, my last video, I got flagged for that video. I don't understand why. When that's common knowledge and it's been reported on YouTube once before. But I got flagged for it. But still, I consider it a topic that needs to be spoken on. And I see I've got a whole lot of views on it. Okay, I'm going to try to put this on a regular channel instead of going on my Patreon. Cause baby, she in there asleep. Me and her just ate supper and I washed all the dishes. She was playing tennis all day. I think she ran out of gas. That's unusual for her. She was looking at the TV. Now the TV is looking at her. She had passed out. So anyway, we're gonna go to the Ramsey unit. And you know, I've said in several videos before that I worked in the count room for a little over 5 months with Wildcat, whose name is James Vernon Anderson. He was the senior warden at the Ramsey unit. And at night, well, every night at a Texas prison, they got what they call a unit strength report. That's the hardest count that you can do. And it gotta be did right. That's the most important count. And back during the day, it was conducted at 11 o'clock p.m. every night. Even on Friday and Saturdays when they allowed the guys to stay up till 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock was everybody had to go in their cell. During the weekdays, it was 10 o'clock. Now, Wildcat had instituted a new style of program where inmates could stay up all night if they chose to. But he didn't want to hear no excuse about, hey, I didn't go to sleep. That's why I wasn't able to go to work, or that's why I can't perform my work duties because I didn't have sleep. You was on your own. If you want to sit out there all night like a fool and know you got to go out in them fields in that hot sun, that was on you. Because back in the day, TVs went off at 1 o'clock in the morning or 12. I forgot which one of them. Remember they played the high flight with the jets? And the guy would say, I looked out and touched the face of God. You remember that? Got to be an old timer to remember that. But TVs went off. And you could just sit out there and play table games. Or they didn't allow no boxing because there's too much noise. Guys are sleeping right there by the punching bag. So you couldn't do that. Couldn't lift no weights. They didn't want to hear them weights clanging all night. But you could just sit out there and talk to your buddy if you want to. You had to talk low because you're sitting right in front of these guys' cell. Well, anyway, yeah, I smoke cigarettes in here because I got a hell of exhaust. My old lady, she don't like cigarette smoke. But I keep the exhaust on fast as I can light that cigarette. See that smoke going right on out through the exhaust. It don't stay in here. It goes right out. I can smoke a cigarette. You can walk in here 5 minutes later. You won't smell no cigarette. So anyway, I had to work that particular night to get the count straight. Now I'm in the count room. You can't make no error on this count. The count consists of not only the total inmates at that prison, you must go to each individual cell block, break it down by count, break it down by race. That was kind of easy back in the day because it was segregated. The homosexual cell block 6 wing was integrated. All the rest of them were segregated. So that was easy to get that out of the way. Next, you got to break it down by what county these guys fell out of, their length of sentence. It's a whole lot of factors you got to teletype to the main prison in Huntsville. And if you make a mistake on that, it will be under you. You cannot make no mistake on that count. Now, I saw a lot of guys working the count room get messed up. They're in a hurry, and they go off the previous night count. Now, some guy might have got hurt bad and had to go to the outside hospital, and he's at the Walls unit in the prison hospital, and he's on the Wall unit count. He's not on Ramsey count. So you ain't paying attention, and you leave him on Ramsey count. It's going to be 1 minute. It's going to one inmate too many at the Ramsey unit. It never was an undercount. It always be an overcount. That's what screws it up. If it's an undercount, it means somebody's missing. We would always have too many on the count that not supposed to be at that prison. So I'm in there. I'm working tonight by myself. Man, I'm trying to razzle dazzle this count. I'm almost finished, getting ready to take it up to the front office where the warden got the teletype. I said, damn, man, I hope I got it. That was my first time doing that count by myself, even though other count boys done taught me how to do it and coached me how to do it. So I said, man, I can't make no mistake. This is my first time doing this count. And all of a sudden, I hear a lot of noise out in the hallway. All the turnkeys running like a son of a gun. So I step out and look out in the hallway. They bringing this guy in. They not beating him up, but they handling him kind of rough. They take him down to the jailhouse. Now, it was different kind of locks up at Ramsey. They got a solitary confinement where they lock you up at. Then they had a jailhouse. It was built just like in the 1800s. Bars around, just like a jailhouse. And they put him in the jailhouse. And the farm manager, I heard him on the walkie-talkie when he called it 0100. That's the senior warden. That's Wildcat's call number. 0100. All senior wardens is 0100 on that walkie-talkie. And that's one of the things I enjoy working in the count room. I get to see what wardens do, how they think. And I was young. I needed to learn. Later on in my, during the course of my confinement, all this stuff I learned then paid good dividends. I learned how the inner working of a prison is. That's why some guys screw up trying to escape. They don't know how the inner working of a prison is. They just looking at it from the outside. They don't know how these people think, what they do in different situations. Well, I'm working right in here with the top dog. I get to know everything. Now, I didn't never initiate no conversation with Wildcat. I let him initiate the conversation with me. This man been a warden longer than I've been fucking living, so I'm not going to try to tell him anything. If he asked my opinion about something, I will word it very careful on what I say to this man. And I heard the farm manager calling Cat at his house. Wildcat came over about 20 minutes later. Come through the door, cursing like a son of a gun. Came in the office, told me, said, go get me some damn coffee. So I got to go to the officer's dining room, and I just got a pot of coffee. So when I came back, the farm manager was talking. What happened was, the farm manager rides around at night in a truck. He don't wear no uniform. This the guy who, he select where all the inmates going to work, what work needs to be did at that prison. And he rides around at night, overlook, because they got a lot of cows. They keep the cattle rusting down. So he might show up at any minute driving his truck. Then he got inmates who work at night. They got inmates got to work in the hogs. They got inmates got to work in the granary. Inmates got to handle the dogs. They got to be out there all night with those dogs. Sometimes the tractor drivers stay out all night plowing the fields. They turn the lights on those tractors and they work all night long. Ramsey was a work plantation. You was going to work at that prison. Nobody got no free ride there. Nobody got a free ride. And they wasn't trying to hear that bullshit about you was sick. They didn't want to hear that. Now, I was just over listening to conversation. And what had happened, the guy who they brought in, he was an outside trustee. They had caught him having sex with a cow. With a cow. And I listened to Cat was mad as hell. He got to get out of his sleep, out of his warm bed and come over to that prison, man. He was pissed. Woo. Well, anyway, Cat tell me, then when Cat show up, that made Big Bear have to get up. Now he come in there, he mad as hell. He got to get out of his bed. So he tell me, see, go tell Bear, go get that piece of shit out of the jailhouse and bring him back down here to my office. So I go out there, I say, Bear, Cat want that dude they just locked up in the jailhouse. Boy, he was mad as hell. They still hadn't really beat him up yet. So, they escorted him back in the office. Now, by me working there, there was no secrets back then between the inmate and the officers or the warden. No secret between the inmates. If you had one of those type of jobs, you was privy to all the intelligence they had. You would know about it too. So I'm sitting there, and I'm listening. I see how Cat is mad and a son of a gun. He already done put his gloves on. I'm saying to myself, if this dude say the wrong thing, it's a possibility he ain't gonna make it. One wrong word, you answer anything wrong, it's a wrap for you. And got him in there, Cat say, why you was out there molesting my cows? He said, oh, Warden, it ain't like what it seemed. Now, for me being around Cat, his best bet was to go ahead and admit it. Just go ahead and say, yeah, that's what I was doing. The farm manager, who word you think he gonna believe? That farm manager who got no reason to lie on you, he need all the outside trustees he can afford to hire. Because everybody can't make outside trustee. Even though back in the day, they had guys with life sentences were outside trustees. They had life. And they worked outside the fence, unsupervised. Go any fucking where they want to go. alone. They didn't need supervision. But you had to reach a certain point in your incarceration for them to trust you like that. And Cat was just sitting there looking at him. He said, "You mean to tell me I done got up out of my bed and you gonna look me right in my motherfucking eye, you lying ass nigga, you gonna look me right in my eye and just tell me a damn lie?" He said, "Now this farm manager here done caught you. But you gonna stand right here, you can't even man up to say what you was doing." "Warden, I really didn't mean no harm, cause I've been working for you for a minute." He said, "Yeah, you was working for me all right. You was working behind my back, and I told inmates don't mess with my livestock. Whatever you do, you don't mess with my livestock." He said, "You should have got one of them old convicts. You should have left my livestock alone." See, now I'm going to ask you one more time. He said, "I ain't even mad at you yet." He said, "But you pissing me off." See, I'm going to ask you one more time. Is that what that farm manager seen? Man to man, is that what the farm manager seen? He can't answer. So Big Bear is standing behind him. Big Bear hit him. Boom! Boom! Let's go to beating him up in the office. The farm manager joined in. Cat joined in. Now there's three of them on there. I'm trying to get out the way. They turning over typewriters and everything, beating this dude up. And finally they got him out in the hallway, and here come all them turnkeys. And Ramsey, at night, it's approximately about 10 turnkeys working that hallway. During the day, during peak hours where inmates is moving around and all that, it may be 20 or more out there in that hallway. They was well staffed. It wasn't like it is now where they always short of staff. They wasn't short of no staff. They got an unlimited amount of inmates, and they got a whole lot of inmate guards. Man, they beat this dude all the way through the side door to the outside solitary. The solitary at Ramsey's not built like other prisons, because it was built in the 1800s. The solitary is not attached to the main prison. It's outside. The same way the showers at Ramsey. They're not attached to the main building. They are outside also. They beat him on out to the solitary. I didn't follow him out there, even though I could. I got to say one thing. I ain't never participated in no type of brutality hiding behind the warden against another inmate. Even though I had that job and I could freestyle on anybody based at the prison I wanted to. I could freestyle and get away with it. Nothing was going to be said. It just wasn't my style. I needed that job to graduate from college, because I was getting behind. I'm working in the fields, coming in 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I got to go to college. I'm tired. I ain't got no rest. I ain't trying to do my homework. I'm behind on final exams. So that's why I had to take that job. I didn't want to do all them courses back over again. And they beat him up real bad. They got inmate guards working in solitary. And I had left the count room about 3 o'clock in the morning after the count had cleared. Because with Cat and all that activity, I couldn't finish my count. I had to wait until they get through and Cat get out of the office and all of them go home to finish the count. So when it cleared, the teletype came back. I can't leave until that count is clear. And about 5 o'clock, an inmate guard came up to my cell and woke me up and said, "Say, they want you at the count room." So I had to get dressed real fast. I ain't have time to wash my face, brush my teeth. I got to dress real fast and head to the count room. I always kept me some toothpaste, and I got a soap dish and all that. I can go in one of the washrooms and groom up. And they wanted me to prepare this guy's records for a transfer to an outside hospital. But they canceled it because they had to call a coroner. He died in the outside solitary. The excuse was you had received a Dear John letter and he hung himself. That's what was typed on the report. They had the ambulance. Ramsey, so many people got hurt, it was just like Esam. They kept an ambulance assigned to that prison. It's sitting there right at the back gate, ready to go. They already gassed it up and ready to roll. I had looked out there and seen the lights flashing. They canceled it. The guy was already dead. And Ramsey has 2 large graveyards. Man, we go out in them graveyards and work, man. I always be looking at the graves, man. It was so many guys got killed there. Young guys, man, they wasn't lasting long at Ramsey. I look at the old graves back to back. I mean, all the way down the line, young guys getting killed. They was not lasting at Ramsey. They got 2 graveyards, and they are full. Matter of fact, they had to create another graveyard. A lot of people died at that prison. From the 1800s all the way up until 1975 till I got there, a lot of people had died at that prison, man. They had 0 tolerance with inmates. And I said this over and over again. If you did not have outside help, you was going to be a statistic there. If you pissed the wrong person off, it's going to be a wrap for you. Y'all follow me over on Patreon. The link will be in the description. Y'all like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching.